if you want to become wealthy as a career person, don't just be wearing suit and tie, carrying an official car or an official coffin, and be deceiving yourself with position and title without entitlement. Find out in this company, what is the business here? What business can I do? There's a difference between the medical profession and medical business. How to create wealth as a career person. If you are a career person, there are things you need to know that will help you to be able to create wealth even as a career person. There are 10 simple things that I have documented, which are the things that have helped thousands of people that are career professionals that I mentor all over the world to have come into a place where they have wealth. They have what it takes to be able to do all that they need to do. And that's what I want to share with you right now. And regardless of where you are, you can always change your story within 3 to 5 years. Regardless of where you are, even if you are the poorest of the poor, all it takes is 3 to 5 years of doing the right things, and you see the trajectory of your life change completely. You can reinvent yourself. You can change your story if you are ready to do what needs to be done. So let's take it step by step. So number one, the first thing that will help you to create wealth as a career person is start early. Start early. It's amazing that a lot of people in our world today spend most of their lives, confused, most of their life experimenting, most of their life doing things that does not align to the bottom line of their destiny. Start early. You have only one life to live. And if you live it well, one life is enough. You have only one life to live. And if you live it well, one life is enough. And every day you wake up, life has started. Nobody grows young. Everybody grows old. Every day. You can medicate, padicate it, spandex it, costate it, do surgery it. You can do anything you want to do, but when you are alone, lines are falling upon lines in pleasant places, and you know by yourself. Even if they are telling you, oh, you're 50, 50 is the new 30, yeah, 60 is the new, even if everybody is deceiving you. Self-deception is the highest level of deception. You know by yourself that you are not growing young, you are growing old. So you need to start early. Why do you need to start early? One of the reasons why you need to start early is that if you look at the pyramid of payments in the career world, we have majorly 3 levels. We have what we call the junior staff, which are the people at the bottom of the pyramid, the minimum wage people, the people that earn lowest. They do more and they earn low. So they do so much at the bottom. But you see, next to those set of people are people that are in the middle level. They are the next set of people. And then we have those that are the senior management and the executive position in the career world. And those are the fewest number of people. But they are the ones that earn much. And guess what? By the time you get to that top level, that is when you can begin to enter into some realms. Now, one of the reasons why you need to start early is before you can move into middle management and senior management in any career, you need an average of 10 to 15 years to get there. Do you get it now? So you need an average of 10 to 15 years of consistent, productive, relevant impact in that career path to break into middle management, break into senior management. Some do it in 7, some do it in 8, but averagely 10 to 15 years. So question, if it's going to take you 10 to 15 years to get to that realm where you begin to earn some things that will help you faster, why do you want to be late before you start? Because if you look at most of the people at the bottom, what they experience is you start out at what we call the entry level. The entry level is either minimum wage or a little above minimum wage, depending on the industry you start. So let's assume that you start, most organizations now, you are starting at somewhere around 55. That's the entry level for most top organizations. You just graduate, you come in there, some of them 75, some 125. So you are starting at that level, and what will happen is every year, even if you qualify for annual review and annual promotion, you'll find that every year, somewhere around 10,000 is added to your salary. Are you getting that? So that means if you start at 50, in 10 years, even if they add 10,000, you'll be at 150. And in that 10 years, you have married with 3 children. Are you seeing why people remain poor? And they are working, say, he's gainfully employed. What is the gain? He's not gaining life, he's not gaining anything. Why? Because even though every year is testifying that, they increased my salary, I was qualified, you will be 10,000. And it's not 10, some people it's 35, it's 28, it's 12. Do you understand? So every year, let's even assume you are getting 10. So that means 10 years, you have moved from 50 to 150. Or you have moved from 75 to 175. Or from 120 to 240. So you see how that, because a lot of people that you think are correct people now, they are any less than 500,000 a month. And they are the big boys, supposedly. You understand? So by the time you look at that, that's why you need to start early. Because by the time you move from junior to middle, there is now a massive bump that takes place. It's no more 10,000. Sometimes it can be 50, it can be 100, it can be, apart from 50, it can have the official car can come, some other things can come. And by the time you get to a realm, it's not only car, it's house, it's annual vacation, it's profit sharing, it's target bonus, it's all kinds of stuff. It's at that realm. Top part of the middle management and the senior management is at that realm that you can begin to have some good money that you can now put into some kinds of things that can help speed up your journey. That's why you need to start early. And guess what? You see, by the time you get to the top, and for those of you that have gone through the career path, you realize that at that level, you don't really do much anymore. You are just into compliance. You are just making sure that everything works. You are just supervising people. You are a team lead. You are not really in the grind. Like most of what you do, you can actually do remotely. Most of what you do, you're actually ensuring that others are doing what they have been employed to do. So you can now have time and experience and resources to now push into what will help you. I will get to that now. So number one is start early. So if you know you want to be an accountant, start. Don't be confused. Hey, maybe I should be this. Maybe I should be this. So you see a lot of people, if you look at their life, for 10 years of their life, they have been in 5 different career paths. 5. That is dissipated energy. 2 years in 5 areas. So at the end of the day, by the time they find themselves, they have to start from level 1 again. So number one is what? Start early. So if you start early, you graduate from school at 21, 22, maximum you graduate at 25, maybe 28 if Nigeria happens to you, also and also. If you start early and plug in, even at that level, by the time you are 40, you will have gotten to a realm where at least something substantial will begin to come from that career path. So number one is what? Start early. Number 2, give it all it takes. Give it all it takes. You see, this I can't come and kill myself mindset is the reason why a lot of people remain at the bottom. If you want to make it anywhere in the world, you must give it all it takes. So once you start out in a career path, work as if your life depends on it, because it does. Because if that job is lost, that's when you realize how important that supposedly small and relevant salary is important to your life. And many times people don't get it. One of the things you need to understand is that in any developing economy, in any developing part of the world, those who earn minimum wage, between 4 to 7 people are dependent on them. And many of you know how many people are calling you now for urgent 2K. When you yourself, you are doing 2K like a car without engine. And they're asking for urgent 2K. You are wondering, do they know what I'm going through? It's because you are gainfully employed. At least every day you wake up, you leave your house. So they are still thinking that, only Shelon, he has job. So it's, and what you're earning is 45 with a wife and 3 children. And they don't even understand that 45 is not 45 in your life. And you are wondering that everybody is expecting you to come and they are calling you, even in your family, they are saying you have a job, as if you are Dangote's second cousin. So one of the things you need to understand is that when you have a job, you don't toy with it. Because that job you have, no matter how small, no matter how irrelevant you think that salary is, it is still doing something in your life. People don't appreciate what they have until they lose it. So see a lot of people, when they are looking for a job, they are humble, they beg to apply, they promise heaven and earth. Once they get the job, they form union. And they begin to manifest. When they now lose the job again, they go back to the school of humility and realize that the job they thought was useless was actually a major aspect of their life. So give it all it takes. What does it mean? Resume early, close late. Do overtime without looking for extra money. Go do the one they didn't even ask you to do. Do the one that is in your job decision. Do the one that is not in your job decision. Jump from department to department. Learn everything you can learn. Why? Because if you really want to do well in life, you work to learn. You don't work to earn. You work to learn, you don't work to earn. And the more you learn, the more you earn. So don't say me, I'm an accountant who nothing concerns me with HR, it concerns you. And nothing concerns me with customer service, I'm doing my job at least in my department. Your department will no more exist if there is no business. So you need to understand that everybody must, so you study everything. Give it all it takes. Because if you start early, like I said, you'll be young. Your responsibilities are fewer. You are most likely unmarried. You are most likely without children. You are most likely living with your parents or living with people. You don't have too much responsibility. So you have time on your hands. And that time you have on your hand is the time to do what? To press in. When you do that, you are doing what we call paying it forward. When you do that, you are making a deposit. Because, for instance, let's assume you're a woman and you graduate at the age of 21, 22, and then you get a job at 23. They start you out as an intern, or they start you out as a entry-level staff, and then you are there, but you are forever there. You are not joining people with all this slave queen life, because you know that one day you marry, one day you will be pregnant, one day you need to go to maternity. You know that there is a 10-year period. There is a time come when you need to, so you give it. So by the time you get to that point, where you need time off work, where you need to go for maternity, and they give you 3 months, but you can do 5 months. It is those seeds you have sown. You say, she's not like that. No, she's married now. Those things will now begin to speak for you at that point. But when you are a useless person, and you are the most terrible one, you are not married, you don't have children, you are not also available. You have excuses. You have attitude. By the time you now become pregnant, you say, you forget it's not pregnancy. She was never serious. You now say they are victimizing you. It's because you are a woman. Because you have not sown the seed. You want to reap an harvest of a seed that you did not sow. So give it all it takes. Number 3, get all the certification you can get. You see, this marketplace, they are not looking for your anointing. They are not looking for how committed you are in your church or in your mosque. What concerns them is, are you qualified? I hope you know. There are many things that people can do in the marketplace that they will not pay them for because they don't have the certificates. I hope you know that. There are people in the company that they are the one doing the job, but they will bring somebody from outside to come and be their boss, even though they had been doing the job. Why? They are not qualified. They say, well, I'm the one doing this. So where is your certificate? Because in that market, called the marketplace of career, certificates is what they're looking for. When you come to another industry, real estate now, we don't need your certificate. Can you say? Once you can say, your certificate is actually useless. That certificate is even an enemy of marketing. Because you now think I'm a PhD holder. I'm a master. I cannot go to the market. We don't need a certificate and work in a career. This one, can you sell? So when you are in the industry where you want to grow as a career person, then you need to know that certification. So get all the certification you can get. All those short courses, do it. All those online courses, all those certification courses, all those seminars, do it. You can start as a gate man and end up as a general manager. You can start as a cleaner and end up as a HR manager. All you need to do, because we have seen it happen over and over again, where everybody say we are mates. Before you know, you apply for Open University, you are doing part-time, they are complaining, you are going. Before you know, one day you come, you bring your certificate, they will say, but we are all together. No, we are all together, but he was developing himself. She was developing herself. She was bringing in certificate. She was adding it, and before you know it, you just realize that this person that we started together over a 10-year period, because this person was committed to personal development, committed to development in their career, bam, they have arrived at a better place. So you need to begin to get certification because that's what they need in that field. I remember when I started out with what I do, because I'm a pastor and that's who I am, that's the core of who I am. I began to teach, and as I began to teach, like I said, to these things, it started producing results in the life of people. So in the early 2000s, I spoke to my people in my church. I said, come, all of you are coming to give testimony. They promoted you. But I'm the one teaching you this thing. Why don't you people go to your office and tell them that I can come and train them so that they can start paying me for this thing now? I'm teaching you. You people are here. So at least your office does training. They don't tell them, my pastor is a trainer. He can train people. So they started going around. And then they will go, and then before you know, I started getting invitation, come and talk to a fellowship. They will start with bank fellowship. You know, they do bank. They will say, I will go and teach in the fellowship. Then they will say, staff this. I started teaching. And before you know it, one company, one bank, one corporate organization, it was going on. And then it got to a point where they now say, there are some big things that they needed to do, and that they needed, the people that are training them, they will be calling big company. They say they are calling them from abroad. I say, all these things, I can say it. Then they say, bring your resume. National diploma, building technology, Federal Polytechnic Ilaro, and then founder, general overseer, and you see that all the resume is spiritual. Nothing there. So even though you know what to say, even though you have what it takes, you don't have the certificate to qualify in their own field. So they will come and say, see, church, pastor, you know, and they didn't understand what is a pastor looking for in business. So it was even a confusion. They say, this man must be fake. Because if you are a pastor, face your pastoring. What are you looking for here? So it became a double jeopardy. So I realized that, in this marketplace, I have to begin to, if I want to play in the market, I have to answer to the tune of the market. So if you are in Rome, you behave like a Roman. So I started looking for courses to do. Why? Not because I needed the course. I needed the course to do so that I can qualify for what I saw as opportunities in the marketplace. In our days, there is a book that we used to use called Lacombe. When we're young, when we're doing, it's called Lacombe. That book called Lacombes is a book that you do the arithmetics and mathematics, but the answer is at the back. So you can look at one chapter, they will give you. So it's either you walk to the answer or you walk from the answer. Because you already know the answer. You can go to the back, look at the answer. Okay, since the answer is 14, okay, I know that this will arrive at 14. So you just, and some teachers are so lazy, they won't check how you arrive and just say, 14, you got it. So I realized that, okay, since I already know that I have what it takes to be a blessing to this marketplace and make money in the marketplace, and they need what I have, I already know the answer. So let me fill in the gap. Let me start looking for certificate that I can present, so that when I'm doing my resume for them, I will put something there that they are looking for. And that's what I started doing. When I went to Harvard, I had already written the School of Money book when I went to Harvard. I went to Harvard in 2012. And one of the reasons why I went was because I started doing all those certification courses and I was putting it there. I did executive master, and people started responding. So now I can do a consulting for a company. I can charge them big money, give them invoice, they will pay. And I'm like, okay, this thing is producing. It's producing. I have done all kinds of training, management training, locally and internationally, and they pay good money. So I also started writing books. Then I realized again, all these books I'm writing, it's all Bible and all and I know that looking at John Maxwell, looking at Morrow, I've seen their system. They are also pastors, but they write books that are generally acceptable. Okay, now that I've succeeded in my primary consciousness, it's time to write books that the whole world will accept. School of Money was the first book that I did in that dimension, 2012. I wrote the book in 2011, and when I wrote the book, I did my about the author. When I did the about the author, and I looked at what was there, I now realize again, if I carry this book and release it like that, even though I have the money, I have the experience, these people will not accept it. So I needed something else again. So I started looking. I applied to Oxford, Yale, Cambridge, Harvard. I started applying so that I will get a name that when they see the name, they would, if you do your first degree and you did third class, by the time you do masters and you do well, they have forgotten your third class. The next one covers. So I said, let me just look for something that once they see it like this, it's called Yoruba Panumo. York silence sadney. So I started applying. They would just say, oh, no space. Then I wrote the book, and then I got an email from Harvard. They said that the courses I'm looking for, but there is one course so that if I can pay for it, that it's available, and but it's just a 1 week course. Well, I saw they say it's 1 week. I say, thank God. It's not about the week. It's about having a legal certificate that once I put Harvard, I did it will just click. So I went there, but I took the manuscript for School of Money. So the professor came in, we had the first day. I said, sorry, I don't know if you are available. Since we are here for 1 week, this manuscript, I just want you to go through it and let me hear your thoughts. The guy came to the class the next day and said, where's the manual? Olumide. I said, yeah. He said, sorry, you said you wrote the book? He said, I couldn't sleep. You took my sleep away, man. He said, I couldn't sleep. I've been reading the book. My wife was like, I said, no, there's this guy. He said, are you sure? I said, I wrote it. I'm reading. He said, so you are supposed to be a lecturer here. That what you've written, even me, I don't know it. You just in fact, I need you to help me. I need to see you. And that's how, and I did one. So when I came back, boom, I put Harvard. I was on a radio program. This radio program, I had a PR guy that have applied for me to be on their radio show. They have rejected it 3 times. They said, no, they don't want pastors on their program. There was a pastor coming to say they don't want pastors. Because there was no resume. So I'm telling you the importance of certification, using my case study. Now, by the time I came back from Harvard, the book was now ready. The guy goes there and says, there's an author. So he said, there's this author that wants to come and talk about his book, School of Money. It's Dr. Olumide EMMANUEL. They say, okay, no problem, Harvard. So when there, guess what? I went to this radio program, sat down, they asked me a question, and if you know me, question and answer is like a special grace. When the lady will ask question, before she finish one, I don't go brrr, bah, 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 brrr, bah, 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 brrr, bah, bah, bah. She was mesmerized, flabbergasted, overwhelmed. She was like, what? They said, no, this is too much. By the time we finish, she said this, that I've been on this radio program for 15 years. Nobody has successfully challenged me intellectually and left me speechless like you have done in 15 years. And she said, this Harvard must be very powerful. Can you imagine? She gave the glory of all my life to a 1 week meeting in Harvard. That's what certification does. There are people that have certificate without brain. But because they have the certificate, they are your guy in the office. You gonna know that this guy doesn't know anything. You know. But he has a certificate, and that's what HR is looking for. That's what they are looking for. You are the one doing the job. You know, you can't even do PowerPoint. You don't have bottle. You'll be the one asking you questions, but when he gets it, takes all the glory. Why? Because he has the certification. So you want to do well in the marketplace, what do? Number 1, start early. Number 2, give it. Number 3, number 4, network strategically. Don't let anybody deceive you. There are gatekeepers everywhere. There are people that determine who enters and who exits any industry. So don't say me, I'm not sucking up to anybody. What belongs to me will not pass you by. It will pass you by with private jets. You just swap out in law with private jets. All those religious slogan that doesn't have any substance that backs it up. Don't deceive yourself. You need to network strategically. Look, in the life that you and I live in, the gift you have will make room for you. But if the people that are in the room don't know your gift, they will not open the door for you to come into the room. Your parents brought you up. In life, you don't grow up. People bring you up. You are brought up. So those that will bring you up must see that you are qualified to be up. Look, let me tell you something. In this country, there are people that determine what happens in every industry. You may say nobody can stop my shine. No, they may not stop your shine, but they may delay your shine. Hello? So, network what? Strategy. So when you get into a company, you get into an industry, begin to ask yourself, who are the gatekeepers here? Who are the people that matters? Because let me tell you something, there are rooms in life that determines whether you will make it. When you read the book, I mentioned the rooms. When you are born in the labor room. But before the labor room, you were conceived in the bedroom. But what was done in the bedroom was a secret. By the time you enter labor room, there is no secret anymore. The nakedness you kept a secret, you will open in the labor room to bet what you have. And there are people in that room that will see your nakedness, even though they don't have a covenant to see, but they have a right to. By yourself, you open up yourself. But there are rooms that determine your destiny that even you will not be present. It's called boardroom. There are people that must be in the boardroom to speak about you. So you must have a voice in the table where it matters. That's what networking does. It gives you mentors, it gives you sponsors, it gives you voices. So that when it's time, look, I have sat in meetings to sack, to promote. I've sat in meeting to employ. I've sat in meeting to approve, to disapprove. And I can tell you for free, it still happened this year. January, I sat down in a meeting based on an information that I got. And I concluded that this guy is gone. I already told my wife, I'm sacking this guy today, he's gone. Based on what I saw, based on the information I got. And I go to the office, I called the chief of staff, I said, he's gone. He said to get him, and while everything was said, there were only 4 of us in that boardroom. The chief operating officer said, sir, permission to speak. I said, no problem. He said, sir, you have taught us. That's how she started. You have taught us. Father, forgive them, for they don't know what they are doing. He says, sometimes these people, they don't even know what they are doing. He says, sir, everything you have said, even me, I agree that I should be sacked. But I'm asking for mercy. That because this guy now, if we lose his job now, he has a lot of Yahoo boys that are his friends that have been trying to convince him to join Yahoo. He has refused to join Yahoo. For one reason, because he's working with you. That he must not hear that I'm a Yahoo boy, that the person I'm working with is integrity. He said, the only reason why this guy has not entered the world is you. If you, that is the person that is making him not to enter, now sack him. That's her. In the next 60 days, we may lose this guy forever. He might join Yahoo. So I'm asking for mercy. When she said that, Abba, the guy is still working till now. But I didn't know there was any Yahoo anywhere. I didn't know anybody. I didn't know he was working. He was not doing Yahoo because of me. I don't have all those details. But someone was in the boardroom that was able to speak for me. Why? Because they were connected. At least he was meeting the person, and you're my mentor. Anything I do that you don't like, let me know. That's what strategic. So you need to network strategically. Don't be proud and arrogant. When you get into a office, say, am I your mate? Forget that nonsense. Nobody's your mate. When you get to that office, who are the gatekeepers? Who are the people that have the ears of the people that matter? Go, hello, God bless you, sir. Just to let you know, I've just resumed. I just want you to know I admire you. You are an inspiration. He said, it's a lie. It's not a lie. He's there before you. It's not an inspiration. Somebody came before you. Somebody came before you. It's not an inspiration. Somebody is a senior. It's not an inspiration. You are an inspiration. That you came before me. You don't need to explain the reason for the inspiration. You are an inspiration. That at least you are here. They never sack you. You are an inspiration. That you could keep your job. How did you keep the job? It's an inspiration. So I just want to anything you need me to do, you want to guide me, let me know. So that when they and then volunteer. If you need somebody to do this, you need somebody to do that. Then learn, because they are gatekeepers. I can tell you stories upon stories upon stories of people that it was just because somebody recommended them. There was no interview. They got the job. It's because somebody recommended them. They were not qualified. They got the grants. They got the approval. So network what? Strategically. Number what? Number one is what? Number two? Number three? Number four? Number five, understand the business of your career. Understand the business of your career. In every career path, there is a business. The problem is many people don't understand the business of their career. And that's why they are not able to make an headway in that career path. Listen and listen well. In show business, some people know the show. Some people know the business of the show. Those who know the business of the show make more money than those that know the show. Those who know the show are the ones who see doing show on Instagram. They always show themselves. Those that make the money, they are not seen in the physical. They are behind the scene making the real money. So anytime you see people on bling bling, when last did you see Dangote or Elumelu or you see Otedola going on social media and doing, the people that have real money, they are not out there making all the noise that people are making, wearing bling bling, and no. The people that are really making money, they are at the back. So you need to ask yourself, in this industry and this career path that I have chosen, what is the business in this career? So you're a medical doctor. You went to school. You spent almost 26 years of your life going through the academic sector to qualify to start housemanship and to start working. And you are striking almost every year. Why? Because you are asking for money, you are asking for this and that. But there is an Ichendu that did not go to school, but is in the business of medical business. He's the one supplying the syringe. He's the one supplying the coat, the stethoscope. He's the one supplying the medical bed, and he's a billionaire with houses all over the country. And you that went to school, you're on strike. Why? Because you are in the profession, but somebody else is in the business of your profession. Oh, I'm a lawyer, and you are still doing charge and bail. All you have done in your life is to go to school and be defending cases for criminal, defending cases that you know is not true. That's why they say lawyers are liars. Not all lawyers are liars. And some of them have just chosen, even the Bible says, beware of lawyers. So you have become a lawyer. But at the end of the day, what is the proof of your law? So you need to understand what is the business in this career. A lady, after lecturing in Unilag for 26 years, she's a member of our church, 26 years in Unilag, PhD holder. She finally retired, and about 2 years, she did her retirement celebration, invited me, I couldn't make it. 2 years after retirement, he came to me one day and said, Pastor, you are not even asking how I'm doing. And I've retired. You are not even asking after me. Pastor, we are your daughter. Ask after us. I say, Mommy, sorry, Ma. You know, I'm very busy. Are you okay? Say, I'm not really okay. You know, this retirement thing, there's no money. The money they are paying. I say, retirement. What's your business with retirement? He say, I say, I know. But what has retirement got to do with you? He said, how, sir? I said, you are waiting for retirement money after being a lecturer for over 30 years? After, he said, Pastor, where do you want me to say? I said, you don't understand the business of your career. You are a lecturer teaching French. You have taught French for over 30 years. I said, excuse me, man, how many books in French have you written? Not all of us are authors. I said, you are in this church where I have taught you that there is at least one book in every individual. You are in this church where the grace to write is there. You didn't connect to that grace. I said, man, you will die of poverty. He said, Pastor. I say, it's true. I will tell you the way it is. I say, you will die of poverty if you don't change your mindset. You are in this church, you are not carrying the grace. I say, there is a business in your career. Number one, you can be an author. Start writing book in French. That's a business in that career. I say, number two, you can start teaching people how to do French. You can start French academy. You can nowadays you can do it online and people can pay you and you can take them through common this or common that. I say, have you heard of Alliance Français? Have you heard of French Language University? They say, I say, you can go there and tell them I want to be a visiting lecturer and be a consultant. I say, have you heard of embassy? Have you gone to all the embassies? I said, do you know in Africa, out of all the 50-something countries in Africa, about 1/3 of them are French speaking. Have you gone to their embassy to ask for interpretation? She was looking at me like this. You see, Pastor, you see what I'm saying? You should be asking after us. I say, ask after you. Did you book appointment to call? You didn't say, even not that I met you now, that because you are an elder, I will answer, this one I'm giving you now is consulting. Counseling is not counseling, no. Counseling is free. Consultancy attracts a fee. Where there is a voice, there's an invoice. I'm only helping you because you are an elderly person. As I'm telling you right now, she's not looking for, she even bought a car. Was it last year? Pastor, come and dedicate to her. I say, you back, I say, he's working. He's working. Why? She did not understand the business of the career. So if you want to become wealthy as a career person, don't just be wearing suit and tie, carrying an official car or an official coffin and be deceiving yourself with position and title without entitlement. Find out in this company, what is the business here? What business can I do? There's a difference between the medical profession and medical business. There's a difference between the accounting profession and accounting business. So you need to find out what is the business of your profession. Then you can now begin to enter into some realms. Then there are what we call the laws of wealth creation. The laws of wealth creation are the laws that will help anybody to become wealthy. But as a career person, these 5 things, is it 5 now? Yes, sir. These 5 things are the things that are exclusive to you before you now activate the laws of wealth creation. So now, because you have chosen the career path, because there are 3 portals of wealth creation. There is the entrepreneurship portal, where you choose to be an entrepreneur. There is the investment portal, where you choose to be an investor. And then there is the career portal, where you choose to be a career person. So if you choose to be a career person, this 1 to 5 is what you need to do. That is exclusive to your own. Then from number 6 upward is the same thing that entrepreneur or investors will do. So we now begin. So that number 6 now is their own number 2 or number 3. But for you now, it's your number 6. So if I'm taking the topic it took earlier on now, then I will give a different lineup. But for you as a career person, that's your number 6. So what is that number 6? Savings. So you need to begin to save. Because now, if you do what I've told you to do, it may be difficult to save when your salary is 38,000 and you are the firstborn of 6 children, and both your father plus your father and mother making 8. Then you are the one taking care of all of them. That even if you do Yahoo, they will support you. If you do prostitutes, they will support you because they don't care. Poverty is the software of your family. So at that point, even if they will tell you to save, even the money that you are collecting cannot even take you home, talk less of saving. Even if you shed blood, you can't save. So it's not that you will know that you are supposed to save, but you cannot. Do you understand? Because you will need to even borrow money to even survive. So I understand that reality. Like he said, some people understand poverty in different levels. So anybody can talk and make it look whatever they need to say. There are people that even God knows. The creator that created them knows that so if you have done what I've told you now, by this point you are at a level where you may be saving 2,000 before, but now you can now begin to do savings actively as something that you are now applying as a law to change your life. It's at that point you cannot begin to do something. So you need to begin to save. And when you begin to save, understand this: savings is not an investment. But savings is required for investment. And the reason why you are saving is so that you can have money to be able to invest. You can have money to be able to take advantage of opportunity. So the next thing you need to do is to begin to save. Now, do not be deceived. Until you begin to save, your journey to wealth has not started. Number 1 to 5 is laying foundation of your life. Number 6 is where your life begins. So if you say, hey, even the man of God has acknowledged, I cannot save. Even God knows I cannot save. That means you are still existing. You are not alive. That means your life will remain in poverty until you activate number 6. You are going to begin existing. So when I tell you, I know you cannot save, I'm telling you just to be real. But I'm also telling you that reality will keep you in the reality of poverty forever. Until you begin to save, you are still in the same spot. And don't forget that you are growing old, like I told you earlier on. I know the amazing thing, there are many people today, the only thing growing in their life is their age. And if you are not tired of poverty, poverty is tired of you. Poverty has used you and your family as a brand ambassador for so long. We need to change poster. We need to change billboard. Your picture don't tire us. We need a new brand ambassador. And in this world, nobody will investigate the source of your poverty. It's when you make it, they'll say, let's find out what did she do to make money. She must be sleeping around. Oh, this man, where are they getting money? Let's find out the secret of their prosperity. Nobody investigates the source of your poverty. It is your responsibility to investigate it and tell yourself, I refuse to be poor. Where your ancestors has failed you, you cannot afford to fail your descendants. I hope you know you are also an ancestor. You are an ancestor in the making. In 50 years' time, in 100 years' time, they'll be talking about you as great-grandfather. They'll be calling you ancestor. What kind of ancestor do you want to be? In October now, I'll be celebrating 35 years in ministry. I've been in church for 38 years as a born-again Christian. I've been in Christianity for over 50 years. So now, I've broken curses for 37 years. I have children now. My last born is 11-year-old. Is he going to be breaking curses? If he's breaking curses, what is the purpose of my 37 years in God? If my son will still be breaking the altar of my father's house, I am the father. So which altar? Is that not an indictment against my destiny? That my own son will break the altar of father when I'm the father. Which altar are you breaking? I am the altar. You can't break anything. So I'm giving you a breakthrough. So you need to tell yourself, the fact that you came out of a broken home does not mean a broken home must come out of you. The fact that you came from a broke family does not mean a broke family must come out of you. So why you are saying, I cannot, because I know that's the one you will pick now. Well, I said this, everybody cannot save. You better save, or else I'm just telling you the truth, the way it's supposed to be, so that it will give you full disclosure. But until you save, your life has not started, so that you'll not be deceiving yourself. You just realize that 15 years later, 20 years later, there are people I went to school with 37 years ago. They are still poor. They are still calling me for 5K, 10K, 37 years later. Are you saying God is not faithful? Is the devil that powerful? So don't let anybody do so. You need to begin to save. Why do you need to save? Many reasons. Go to my YouTube channel at Dr. Olumide EMMANUEL on YouTube. I did a series last year, Developing a Savings Culture, part 1 to 5. You know one of the reasons why you need to save? Listen. Money is tripartite. Money is a spirit. Money has a soul. Money lives in the body. The spirit of money is called mammon. That's what controls your choices, your thoughts, and your impulses. That's why many times you are finished spending money before your brain begin to work. Mammon was in charge. The soul of money is value. That's what determines the value of your currency in the marketplace. It's affected by market forces. The body of money is currency. Money is universal, but currency is geographical. But money has a past, money has a present, money has a future. So every time money comes into your hand, a portion of that money belongs to your past to take care of the bills that you have already incurred. A portion of that money belongs to your present to take care of your ongoing obligation. A portion of that money belongs to your future. It's called savings and investment. If you don't activate the tripartite dimension of money, you can never become rich and wealthy. So every time you eat every money you make, you are eating your future. You are a witch. What witchcraft is greater than that one? When you are eating your future. So every time you don't save, you are eating your future. So all this, my future is bright. It's a lie. It's not bright. Stop this with yourself. My future is bright. I will get there. The question. 10 years ago, you said your future is bright. 10 years later, how far? Is your future bright now? So stop deceiving yourself with your future. There is no bright future for anybody. It's not the cause. The future you create is the future you. So how that one you are chopping all the money Chopping. You are chopping your future. You are a witch. You have eaten your future already. You don't have any future. So you begin to save. And then number 7. I told you there are 10. I give you 7. Because if people didn't pay, we stop there. Go and buy a book. Number 7 is invest massively. Invest massively. Savings is setting money aside for a purpose. Investing is sending money on assignment for a return. When you begin to invest, what are you doing? That's money you have saved. You are now putting the money into investment. Instead of you working hard for money, the money will now begin to work hard for you. And as that money begin to work for you, you are still working, you are still your career path, so you buy a land. You just hear, oh, we are doing Armor County, oh, we are doing Natural Dome, oh, we are doing Ekpe. Before you know it, you plug into Life Page. They tell you, pay small. You buy. You are paying small. So that money you are saving now, maybe you are paying 50,000 every month. Before you know it, 2 years later, 1 year later, 18 months later, you are finished paying. The land you bought for 2 million, they say it's now worth 5 million. You are still working, but 5 million assets is in your name already. Think about it. If you work for 30 years and every 5 years you are building one house or buying one land, by the time you finish working after 30 years, you have 6 plots of land worth about 100 million. It's more than all the pension they will ever pay you. So why don't you understand what we are talking about? So you begin to do what? You begin to invest. Oh, there's this business, you put money there. There's this one, you put money there. That's how you create wealth as a career person. You will now wake up one day, you're a senior manager, you're a general manager, you're a country manager, but there are real estate in different places producing income for you. There are investments in different places producing income for you, and you're not depending on your salary. That even when you retire, you have not retired. Because even if you are tired, the money you have invested is not tired, and the money will continue to pay you for the rest of your life. I rest my case. So this is the book, How to Create Wealth as a Career Person. I've given you 7 out of 10. And that 10 is just one chapter. Not to talk of other things that are there. So contact Life Page, or you go to my website, olumide or you call the office 0809 144 7423. 0809 144 7423 or 0802 305 9058. 0802 305 9058. Or you go to olumideemmanuel.org/shop, and you go there, you buy. There is a secure payment platform and you can pay. So God bless you. Plug in now.